Hey, Creative Mom Kamela here. Today we are playing with cardstock. Let's see what I've got. All right, so for today's cardstock project, we're going to make 3D letters. I used a project off of Cricut Design Space and I cut a J out. I'm going to cut an O and a Y also, but I do recommend you cut these one at a time just because it helps you keep the pieces with the same project. So it should cut two letters, and for example, on the J, it's going to cut some that are backwards because they're 3D, so this will be the back side, and it will cut a J that's the front side, and then they'll cut a number of pieces that look like this. And so I used my Cricut Explore 3, and then I used a teal marker because it puts little coding dots on your pieces. So you see those little, there I just saw it. It puts little bitty marks on the paper that I'm having a really hard time showing you with the reflection. There you can see it. And so I used the teal marker to do that. It doesn't matter what color you use. You could probably get by without them. Just keep your pieces the same way when you pull them off the mat. So when you pull it off, keep it facing the same way it came off the mat. I do recommend just any old Cricut marker that works in your machine. And then for the Explorer, I had to use this scoring tool. If you were using a maker, they have a blade that's a scoring tool, and then you can still use the marker in the pen attachment. So either way, they're super easy to cut, everything cut beautifully. And the first thing you're going to want to do is glue your decorative piece onto your letters. So your decorative color goes on top of this one. I highly recommend this art glitter glue. It comes with this little bottle, and it comes with the cleaner out and another tip in here, and it really does. It really works like magic. I know that sounds crazy, but it does. So this fine tip allows me to put my glue all around exactly where I want it, and I'll show you, I'm sure, towards the end, but the fine tip also allows you to squeeze inside where you might need a little help. And then it also dries really quickly, which is really helpful. Put your glue on this piece, not on the one I did. The other good thing, though, especially in this situation, is it dries clear. So I put my glue on my larger piece, which wasn't very smart. So let's do it right this next time. But it cleans up and dries really well and clear. So it's a great glue. But the speed of the dry time is my favorite thing. When we get to folding these and gluing them on, they need the quick dry time, and this has it. It is permanent. It is water-based. It's not toxic. It doesn't smell at all. I already said it dries clear, which is amazing. It wasn't super expensive, and of course it's going to go a long way. So that's fabulous. All right, so both of these glued on first. And I just centered those in the larger blank, the larger piece. All right, so those I can set to the side. Now, I want to keep the one that goes the correct way. I'm going to slide that out of our way for a second. So this is the J that goes the right way, so I'm going to keep it handy. Then you kind of have to figure this out. But the first thing you want to do is fold on all the creases. And I grabbed a ruler to show you. A ruler did help me make sure I followed really straight. Of course, your deboss tool is going to put a line in there. So it's going to give you a nice, easy area to fold, which is super convenient. And I have kind of pre-folded some of these. I want to show you when I'm done folding them, I want everything to be at a 90-degree angle. So I want the piece that I folded and the bottom piece to be a 90-degree angle the best you can. And don't forget about your little curves. Those need nice creases in them as well. I've actually found if you fold those or any areas that are hard to get to backwards and then forwards, it'll help you get a really nice crease in those areas. And so I've basically got this one done, and then our last one I'm going to show you, it also has slit lines that will help it. So these little slices will help it fold to its area of the letter. And I've done a couple of these. None of them have been very hard. Like I said, my biggest tip is to cut them one letter at a time. If you use your Design Space file, and don't be like me, go to the living room to try to do this so you can watch TV with the family while you're working on a project. Yep, that's me. But if you don't do that, you could watch your file, and then you'd probably be better than I was cutting multiple ones. So I am having so much fun playing with cardstock lately. It's kind of been my new thing. And I use Cricut Cardstock. I'll link it below. And it really does cut nice and folds nice, and it has a really good quality. So I know the texture is hard to see on this, but you can hear it. So it just has a really nice texture to it. All right, so then the next thing you're going to want to do is figure out where your pieces go. And I'm going to tell you, it's kind of tricky to figure out. And you just have to play. So I held my letter under, even though that's not how they're going to go, and went, okay, so this creased here, that's not right. So let's take a look at this one, and I'm going to hold my letter under. Ah, see, this has the crease that goes here and a crease that goes here, so it's going to be correct. We have paws creeping in over here, so beware. It's never a safe space with cats in the house. All right, so once you have your piece figured out and know where it goes, then this glue, and with this glue, I can actually glue all three of these edges at the same time. I went over my edge. Don't do that. All right, and then you want to start positioning them from the from the bottom up. So get your bottoms lined up really nice. That way they will sit nicely. I assume most people are going to want to prop these up. That's kind of the point. And you're going to want your bottoms to be nice and flat. So nice creases and everything even. So I'm lining up the top of my J right on the crease of what we folded, so the side of the J. And I really want to check my bottom and make sure it lines up really nicely. And this glue does glue fast, so be careful. So I pulled off, and I'm actually going to grab a little more glue. And this is going to be a great area to show you how I stick that nozzle in to get something glued really well. So you just want to make sure that this bottom edge is lined up really nice. So now I'm holding on to that, and then I can take this and I can stick it in these areas that didn't quite get enough glue to the edge, and it actually will go under, and it allows me to get glue all the way out to the edge, which is great. And then I just cleaned up that edge just a little bit with my finger. Of course, I always keep wet wipes in my craft room. All right, now we're ready for the next side. So we're going to continue up here. And like for the O, I found it's easiest to do the center first. So I'm going to take a peek at doing the inside of this J next, which is going to be this piece. So it folds several times, and that's how I know that. And we're going to take a peek here. Okay, so these are going to have, both of these ends are going to get glued together. All right, so they'll be like this and all lined up. So that would be what I want to glue next, is to get this to be a nice flesh line right up here. So I'm going to put a little glue on one of the sides, doesn't matter which one. The nice thing about using your cutting machine, my Cricut, to do this is these lines are precise. So I don't know about you, but hand cutting is not my strong suit. And so the machine definitely helps with that. All right, so now we're going to roll this piece on around, and I'm going to see that this is what's next to go in. I'm going to I keep grabbing that one. I don't usually even get it out, but I wanted to show you this art glitter, and I'll link it below. It's a great glue. All right, So I'm going to do a little bit on that piece, and I think I can go ahead and get this one down the line here. All right. So I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to line that right at the top of my J and keep working my way in. I did the wrong side there. See? Gotta watch me. I should have known because the two pieces don't go together. This is not right. This is right. Okay, so and I knew that, but you never put two pieces like that together. It's the flat and then the cut side. My kitty cat is totally distracting me. Can we blame that mistake on him? Probably not. Okay, well, I tried. All right, now this is the piece that I need. I need a little piece at the top. There it is, okay. And then I'm gonna wanna glue the side that goes up against here. All right, so it's gonna be this side right here. Hi, Jay. Let's try this again. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this flap also so that we can get it tucked in down there. All right, here we go. Try again, right? Super helpful kitty creeping in. He knows his presence is really not allowed up here, and I think he has it figured out that if I'm recording, I won't yell at him. Let me know in the comments below if you're a cat house. We definitely are. Of course, we like all pets, so. All right. Now, we have the glue on this one, so it goes there. And I just use my finger to kind of get everything in place and hold. He says the end of this glue moves. And just lining up here. I think I let this glue dry. I gotta borrow it, Phoenix. So if it's not a kid, it's a pet, right? Somebody always has to be in mom's space, for sure. There's no alone time when you're a mom. All right, so I'm just keeping to work this around the edges, and we're gonna have this J done in no time. All right, so remember flat edges help. This one's just a little off. There we go. And anywhere you can kind of stick your finger and help line things up is kind of what I did. Beautiful. All right, and our last piece to go on to our J, and it helps if you kind of look at where you're at. So this piece goes there. Line it up. And we may have to move the cat helper. Hi, buddy. You're a super sweet kitty. Bye, bud. I would like to say that they're easier to remove than kids, but they're not, right? They all need us all the time. All right, so now we are ready for our next side here. And you just have to figure out your sizing. So before you glue, unlike me, you'll figure that out. And I've got it now, so I know where we're going. And this flap is actually going to go up because it's going to hold this one in. So let's put some glue on that. But if you just work your way around the edges, these have been really easy, and I have not messed one, I hadn't done a J yet, but I had not messed one up at all to where I couldn't fix it. So you just keep working with it. All right. So I've got my glue on this flap, and it's time to put my glue on the side here. And my buddy's back. Phoenix, you really need to stop. He's going to sit right down in our project. If he sits, he will be fine. All right, so here we go. This goes onto that, and now I'm lining up around the hook of the J and gluing all those pieces I just put glue on down and lined up. And here we go, tuck in the last side of this in, and then it's super, super easy to finish from here. And this is one of those situations, again, where that nozzle comes in handy. So I really need some glue on this bottom, but I can't take everything apart. So I'm just going to stick some glue down in there and hold that all evened up. Remember I said the bottom, you need to be very careful to get nice and flat and arranged so that it will stand nicely. All right. The last part of this is so super easy. So make sure all of your flaps go to the inside. Like this didn't quite glue, so I'm going to glue that flap up into there. Are you learning how to do this today, Phoenix? All right, and then you're ready for the last piece. So this is why you want them to be a 90-degree angle the best you can. So all of these pieces as flat as we can. We don't want them down for sure, but we want them to lay flat. Now we're ready to put this on. So I'm going to take my glue and go all around all of these edges so that everything will glue together. And then we'll get to look at the complete project. I did these houses, I'll show you here in just a second, to the side. And I really like them. Like I said at the beginning, I'm having fun playing with cardstock. So I hope you'll hit the subscribe button so that you can stay informed on when we upload new things on all kinds of crafting. I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. Again, I'm going to stress, watch the bottom. That's the only thing I would say I have done wrong on any of these. And not necessarily wrong, but it's really hard to fold your bottoms nice and smooth after you've glued things together. So you want to do that first and keep an eye on keeping your bottom smooth. So there's our J, all together, all solid, adorable. So these are the cardstock houses and church I made. Here's the J we just did today. I absolutely love it. I've also done, of course, an O and a Y because I couldn't help myself. Cardstock is so fun to work with. I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you'd give me a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, it really helps. Have a joyful day. Bye, Creative Moms.